Hey, I'm Chicken Linguini, and today I wanted to talk to you about 3 easy hacks to improve your health. So, the first hack is to go outside first thing in the morning. So, naturally, back in the day, if you think about it, we would wake up and we would go outside, and that was either to garden and to pick fruits and vegetables, or if you were part of the hunting group, then you would go outside and you would hunt. But we would start our days by waking up and going outside and really getting active. But really, it's being outside and seeing the sun. And the reason why that makes perfect sense and why it was done is because if the sun is out, we should be out and we should be active. So when we go outside first thing in the morning and our eyes see the sunlight, it's a different input that gets into our brain and into our circadian rhythm. I can never say it, but it's a different input that we get. So it's different than if we were to wake up and just walk to our desks with our normal like indoor lighting. It's not the same activation, it's not the same sunlight that we get in our eyes for the receptors in our brains to really turn on and be like, okay, it's time to wake up. So I love working from home, but the pandemic has definitely made that even more of a problem, because before, if you at least were driving to work, you were seeing some sort of sunlight in your morning. You were waking up, getting dressed, and getting in your car and going to work. Now, if you're working from home, again, I love it, don't get me wrong, but we're just waking up and going from our bed straight to the bathroom, straight to the office. So we're not going outside, we aren't getting the fresh air, and we're not getting the sunlight that's so crucial for us and for our brains to really know that it's time to start working and start, our day. Not only is it, like I said, great for our eyes, but it's good for our health and our vitamin D. I mean, vitamin D is a huge vitamin that we as a population are super deficient in. And vitamin D helps us really absorb and get all the nutrients in from the foods that we're eating. So it's definitely a vitamin that we want to incorporate into our daily lives. So why not do it first thing in the morning and kill two birds with one stone? So that's the first hack for optimizing your health. The second hack is to eat dinner or your last meal 3 hours before bed. And this is because it takes our bodies about 3 to 4 hours to digest. And if we eat too close to sleeping, then we won't finish digesting our food. So if we were to eat dinner at 8 o'clock and you're in bed by 10 o'clock, you have only given your body 2 hours of digesting. So it's going to be more difficult for you to fall asleep because your body is trying to decide, do I digest the food or do I go to sleep? Because you can't really do both things at once. So if you were to go to sleep, then whatever didn't get finished digesting sits there and literally waits until the next morning when you've woken up and your digestive system wakes back up again after you eat your first meal. So that's why it's really important to not eat 3 hours before bed, so that you give your digestion the time that it needs to digest that last meal, and so that you can actually have a good night's sleep. I don't know about you, but when I eat too close to sleeping, I just don't sleep as well. I toss and turn, and sometimes I even dream about food. And that could be because my body is trying to digest at the same time as sleeping, and it just can't decide which one to do. So definitely eating 3 hours prior to going to sleep is going to help you get more restful sleep and just have better digestion and improved health overall. And the last hack is my favorite hack because it's the simplest hack and it changes nothing about my diet, but it makes the world of a difference, and that is to eat your veggies first. So I recently read a book called The Glucose Revolution by Jessie and Shape, and she says, a whole bunch of things, but one of the biggest takeaways that I got from it was eating your veggies first. And that's because when you eat your veggies first, the veggies go into your stomach, and imagine your stomach like a sink, and like a sink with a pipe going down. So when you first eat your veggies, the fiber goes in to the sink first, and it like fills up the pipe of the sink. So first you got your veggies, and then ideally is your protein. So the next would sit the protein, then your fat, and then your carbs last. And the reason why this makes such a difference is instead of eating, let's say, your carbs first, is because when you eat your fiber first, your veggies first, it's harder for your body to digest and to break down the fibers. So it takes a longer time to digest the fibers. So by the time it gets to the carbohydrates, you don't just absorb the sugars as fast. Because remember, when you eat carbs, whether it's a potato, a piece of toast, rice, or a full-blown dessert like a brownie, it's all sugar once it gets into your body. So if you were to eat, let's say, a potato first, and then your chicken, and then your salad, when you eat the potato, it goes into your body and it gets very, very quickly turned into sugar and absorbed into your body. Then you work on digesting the protein up from the chicken and then the fibers from the salad. But if you were to eat that same meal with the same amount of calories, and if you were to have the salad first, your body takes longer to digest those fibers, and to break it down. And not only does it take longer to break it down, but the fibers then also make like a mesh around your intestines, so that by the time the carbs come in, it's harder for those sugar molecules to go through and get absorbed into your body because of the mesh. So eating your salads before your meals, eating your salads, or doesn't just have to be a salad, but eating your vegetables first will make a huge difference in the way that it's absorbed and digested in your body. So it'll cause just a lower glucose spike. And I mean, quickly, just a glucose spike is essentially when you eat too much glucose and not enough fibers to balance it. So it spikes all the way up, and you can feel a whole mess of symptoms after that, like nauseous, irritability, getting hungry really quickly after your meals, and just overall not satisfied. And there's like a whole mess of symptoms. But eating your vegetables first will lower that, and in turn help you lose stored fat and help you just stay healthy. So yeah, those are my 3 hacks that I have for you guys today. To go outside before 10 a.m., eat your last meal 3 hours before going to bed, and eat your veggies first. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I have new videos coming out every Thursday. So see you next week.